Good evening, folks. Welcome again to our little Wednesday night time of study together, in which I always encourage you to have a look at the questions that have been sent out by email and try to probe a little bit deeper into the text that we explored on Sunday. So I always recommend that you start your time by perhaps having an object in the room that you can focus on, maybe lighting a candle, particular picture, or playing a piece of music. And within that then to try and sense what God might want you to pray for before you start to study the story of this woman at the well. Here's my little thoughts and questions. So we've got this week a story about Jesus, a woman and a well. And this, of course, isn't just any woman. She's a Samaritan. She's been divorced 5 times and therefore is a person of shame who lives on the margins of society. And yet again, Jesus comes, meets an outsider and breaks conventional religious and cultural rules in doing so. So what could this mean for us? Might be handy if you can read John chapter 4 verses 1 to 30 and it'll help to make sense of these questions. On Sunday we talked about journey. That was our starting point, wasn't it? Jesus and his disciples travel through Samaria where Jesus stops exhausted at a well. A woman also goes on a journey and she comes undercover from her city to that same well, exhausted by shame. Journey. So, are we willing, like Jesus, to travel across boundaries and divides in order to meet others? And how can we really demonstrate that we do this as a church? What stops us from meeting the other and sitting with them for a drink? Maybe we are a bit like this woman. Maybe we're disappointed and discouraged in life. Things aren't working for us. So are we willing to seek Jesus, knowing that through this story, he is ready and willing to sit and encounter us? So encounter. Jesus is relational with this woman. Through this, he reveals himself and offers her life rather than the condemnation she is more than used to receiving. So, are we like Jesus when we meet those who are not like us? Do we judge, make up rules and insist that in order for others to belong to us, they must adapt our beliefs and morals, otherwise they are not welcome? Jesus here in the story doesn't condemn this woman, but rather offers her the water of life. What do we really offer when we meet those who are not like us? Are we people of grace and truth, or judgment and condemnation? And how can we change and become more like the Jesus we claim to follow? Our last point was Impact on Sunday. And Jesus' revelation and offer to this woman seems to produce a boldness in her where she now journeys from the margins in order to enter the centre of her community with good news. This is some impact. A shameful, timid woman looking for water returns with boldness and freedom to overcome the shame that has imprisoned her. Does our gospel sharing, in whatever way that is expressed, bring true lasting change to others? Is our gospel about liberating those on the margins or keeping them there because we fear the boldness and change they might bring if they drink the true water of the gospel? Are we scared of the other or excited to see them journey into lasting freedom with us? And I might add, are we excited for that to help us journey again into our sense of freedom, which we may have lost? What impact do we really have? And what stops us having the impact Jesus would want from us in this world? Those are our questions. And I think I would sum them up by saying, God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. So the choice we have to make as individuals and as faith communities is, do we live in fear, which is something God has not given us, fear of the other, fear of what the other might bring to us and how they might challenge us to reassess where we stand? Or do we embrace a spirit of love? And love is always outgoing and works itself out in relational ways. Are we willing to embrace power? Yes, power to witness, and the soundness of mind, that what we witness to has a meaningful explanation to others. Use these questions to ponder, explore, reflect, repent, and pray. And as I always say, look, we're in a situation now where we're having to do everything via video and social media and through emails. It's different to meeting face to face. But I want to know if God is speaking to you and if God is doing things in you, not just me, but we would love, and I would love to hear, in order to feature some good news stories on Sundays. But you have to be willing. Maybe your boundary to cross is the fear of the camera. But anyway, God bless you all, folks. And I pray that together during lockdown, we might find again, dig again, and drink for ourselves this fresh, clean, living water so that we can come out of lockdown ready to share that water with the world and the community in which God has placed us. God bless. Go and be good news in this world.